Hello, and welcome back to another edition of All or Not According to Jack with your host, Jack Toledano. So, as you can see, I am at my upstate home. That nice sock and dog clock that's there. Anyway, I am upstate for the weekend, and I figured I would do an episode of Concerts Remembered. Couple points that I'd like to make. So, number one, I probably would have waited till I got home for this episode, but it is the 45th anniversary of the day I went to see Kiss with Judas Priest. It was 45 years ago today. Da 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 da. Yeah, 45 years ago today, I saw Kiss with special guest Judas Priest at Nassau Coliseum, September 1st, 1979. That's a date that I will never forget because of the fact that it is the 1st of September. Yeah, so and don't mind the wiggling camera. I have my uh, I have my phone on one of those selfie sticks. So that's yeah. Anyway, so two things I wanted to talk about. Um, I was telling my dad the story. The way this series came about, I was basically trying to think of a way to be able to do a series without having to put a lot of research in. Basically, to be able to just think about it quickly and get it to you right on camera, as soon as possible. Um, So then I had a hard time thinking of names. What am I going to call this series? Uh, Concerts I went to, uh, concert remembrances, etc., etc. Couldn't think of a good name. And then, art imitates life. I'm online making a couple purchases at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I see this online. It's one of those lines to the cash register where it's like being online at Marshalls or TJ Maxx, where you're going through an aisle and they're trying to sell you additional goods, and this happened to be there. So so I filmed my first couple of episodes. I did my episode with Aerosmith. I did call it that, by the way, Concerts Remembered, because of happenstance in this book being there. Um, so I filmed my episode, with Aerosmith. That was the first because they just announced that they will be going not touring anymore because what's his name Tyler can't really sing on stage any longer, which is sad, but you know, I figured that was a good way to start. Then I had a second episode where I talked about Judas Priest and the Ripper era Judas Priest. So this episode, I didn't intend to follow it up with another Judas Priest, uh, but 45 years ago, Kiss with Judas Priest. So that was a great concert. I had never heard of Judas Priest at that point. I was kind of hoping that Kiss would have like Angel, or who's the other one, Cheap Trick, or one of those bands that they were bringing around with them at the time, but didn't happen. Instead, we got Judas Priest, but you know what? It would turn out to be probably the greatest opening band I've ever seen. As you look at my sign up there, Jack's Bar. Always 5 o'clock somewhere. Welcome to the lake, etc. Uh, that little hook over there, that is to when we were putting this home back together, I had to do some repairs to the ductwork, and my son Jason stepped on the ductwork, so we had to bend it out. And my brother-in-law Mike made that, so thank you for that, Mike. Anyway, So getting back to Kiss and Judas Priest. So Judas Priest, I looked everywhere, high and low, up and down, to try and find a set list for that day, but I couldn't. So instead, I can at least tell you what I do remember that they did play. So 1979, they would have been touring the Hellbent for Leather album. This was probably a month before they released Unleashed in the East. Um, so they played Hellbent for Leather, Delivering the Goods, Green Manalishi, and what was the other one? Running Wild. So then off of, what was it? I don't remember if they played anything. I don't remember if they played anything off of Stained Class. They may have played White Heat Red Hot, but don't know for certain. Um, Off of Sin After Sin, I know they played Diamonds and Rust. They possibly played, what the hell is it? Sinner. I know they played, oh, what's the third song off of Sin After Sin? Da 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 da. Starbreaker. That's it. Yes, that was their encore. Encore. Starbreaker. They may have played the Ripper, but unfortunately, I didn't know them at the time, so I didn't have a telephotographic memory of what they played. So you're just gonna have to go based on that. Mr. Halford did not come out on his Harley Davidson because hey, they were the opening band. Um, Kiss. So this was touted as the return of Kiss, the Dynasty Tour. Who knew that they were having problems with Peter Criss at that time? Who knew? Um, so this is what they played. They opened with King of the Nighttime World. Then they played, I was a little surprised, they brought back Let Me Go Rock and Roll. Then they played Move On from Paul Stanley's solo album. Then Calling Dr. Love. Then they went into, the hell is it? Firehouse. Gene Simmons blew his fire at the end. Song number 6 was one of Ace's two tunes that he sang, New York Groove. 7, I Was Made for Loving You. 8 was Christine 16. 9 was 2000 Man. That was Ace's second song that he sang, plus he did his guitar solo. Song number 10 was Love Gun. 11, God of Thunder. Gene Simmons spits the blood out. Peter Criss does about a 3-minute drum solo. Then it was Shout It Out Loud. Then the finale, Black Diamond. First encore, Detroit Rock City. Second encore was Beth. 3-minute, probably the shortest three-minute encore I've ever seen. No, just 2 verses and then the final, Beth, I know you're lonely and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Third and final encore, Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day. Confetti comes down. Paul gets us all to sing Rock and Roll All Night. And then he tells us, he's like, Nassau County, I want you to be so loud that they'll hear you back in Manhattan. That I remember him saying. Cool concert, but sadly, who knew that they were having turmoil with Peter Criss, and that, I don't know what, 5-6 months later, he would be fired from Kiss because they just couldn't deal with him anymore. And, he was sabotaging the shows, and rumor has it he was speeding up and slowing down just to piss Paul Stanley off. He didn't like the cues he was getting from them. What are you going to do? So that was another episode of Concerts Remembered, a concert journal. George gave me a spectacular idea. I was walking around the mall yesterday, and I was actually in Barnes and Noble, and this was an idea George gave me. You know, I in time I am gonna fill this book out, but I'm thinking to myself, with all the concerts that I've been going to for the last 45 years, why don't I put a book together? A nice little hardcover with some photos and stories, and because I've been to a shit ton of concerts. I mean, I've been to metal. I've even been to a couple of country concerts with my wife. Uh, I've been to a show with my son. He's more into the alternative metal. He took me to a really nice show at a place called somewhere in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg. I forget the name of the place. Oh, Brooklyn Steel, I think it was called. But what a great venue for a concert. But I have so many stories I'd like to share. And in the latter concerts, I have some pictures, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, and lastly, I don't know if you saw from my Aerosmith episode, actually, Time Life Press, the people who actually um, published this book, reached out to me, thanked me for, showing the book and telling me that they were happy I enjoyed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Well, Time Life, let me see. Let me just get that name. Sorry to do that. Oh, Timeside Press, yes. Timesidepress.com. I'm just going to give you a little plug here. They have a lot of great journals and books. If you're a parent like I am, you can jot down your children's first words. There's even, horror movies that you've seen, wildlife that you've seen. They've got so many of these good books, but, from this, I'm thinking of parlaying this into my own book where I talk about, with pictures and, with, pictures of friends that I've been to shows with. Of course, no pictures until the latter shows that, when I started going to Jones Beach and bringing my camera with me. Those are the, you know, but we'll see. I would like to put a book together. I would love it if I can get it out there. People can buy it. And, you know, this way I have something finally to sell. A product of all or none, according to Jack. But in any event, thank you all for watching. If you like what I do, please subscribe. Please tell your friends about me. And have a very happy Labor Day weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.